Hi, I've covered my hair up because it is absolutely driving me crazy. Anybody who's been following me for a while will know that my haircuts every 6 weeks without fail for the last 20 odd years have been my non-negotiable time, and it's had a real impact this last 12 months. The COVID effect has had a real impact, obviously, for all of us with our hairdressing and how we've had to adapt and change. And I've just been chatting with my lovely friend and accountability buddy Cheryl, and we were talking about stuff. We were reviewing our last quarter's things and goals and things, and one of my goals was to thanks Helen, Donna's one of my goals for this last quarter was to do more videos and go live in my group, and I've been doing bugger all with the lives and the videos. And I was thinking, well, why is it? And I've had all these excuses and reasons, and it's kind of like because my hair looks shit, or I think my hair looks shit, or it's not how I usually have it. It's been just easier not to bother. And who knows what the impact is of my business because of that? Who knows? I don't know. But also as well, I wear a lot less makeup these days because I'm not going anywhere, and it's kind of like I've got my level 1 and my level 2 makeup. I talked about that the other week, and it's kind of, whereas before I always had my makeup with eyeshadow and everything on, and my hair was done, and I'd hop on a video and I'd do a live and it was all good. And now it's put me off. So anyway, I got to thinking, we got to chatting, and I was thinking, what's happened? We need more Lisa lives. I know I'm supposed to be doing them. What's happened to you though that stops you from doing stuff? What's knocked your confidence? Because for me, my hair is the thing. Yeah, it's kind of it's just it's my non-negotiable thing. Brian says to me, you can have your hair cut on Wednesday at 3 o'clock. Then that goes in my diary 12 months in advance usually, and everything else fits around it. It's my non-negotiable, and I've had to deal with that being taken away from me this year. So it's been quite an interesting exercise, and looking back and reflecting on how that's impacted me. So it's about accepting stuff, and I know for a lot of my clients it's kind of body acceptance, body image is another thing, and this was something else Cheryl and I were talking about. When has your confidence been affected because of how you look and because of your appearance? Is it after, like me, putting loads of weight on when I had my son and then never really losing it, and he's 21 now? That had a massive effect on me for a long time. Is it, your body shapes change because of menopause? You've got a thickening waist. Is it because your job's changed, your career's changed, your power suit that you used to wear, and your armour, that was your uniform, and then when you change jobs or something, that's taken away, and the impact that can have on how you feel about yourself and your confidence. And there's all this stuff wrapped up with how we look and how we feel. And it's interesting for me. So in my Project FAB community, which is my paid community, we've had a lot of chats over the last few weeks about different things and how different things have impacted us and our confidence, and how we can work through that. And I know for me, with the whole sort of body shape stuff, I always thought I was fat when I wasn't even fat, and then when I put loads of weight on and then couldn't lose it, that became a real issue for me, and a real I remember having loads of clothes in my wardrobe that didn't fit me for years and years and years, because I didn't want to accept that I was now bigger and that I was plus size. So I'd hung on to all these clothes that didn't fit me, and then every time I looked in the mirror, looked in my wardrobe, it was they were a reminder going, hoo 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 hoo, we used to be able to wear us, but now look at you, you're too fat. Or that's kind of how it went in my head. And it was a real I remember one day having this big wardrobe reading session. I thought, no, I'm going to move all these clothes that don't fit me anymore. Instead of thinking there'll be like a carrot to help me get back into them, to help me lose weight, to get back into them. What I was actually doing, I was beating myself up. There was like a stick. So I took all the clothes out of my wardrobe that didn't fit me and just stored them. I didn't get rid of them. I just stored them somewhere else so that I didn't see them and that they weren't a reminder for me on a daily basis. And that really helped. And I remember at that point where I accepted that actually you are bigger size now, because the other thing I'd been doing is I hadn't been spending a lot on my clothes. So I'd been buying cheap clothes, I'd been making do, and I'd been going to the supermarket, you know, going around Asda and like, oh, have they got this? Oh, I'll have that top because I'm going out on Friday and I want something new to make me feel better. I'll chuck it in with the fruit and veg. It's only a tenner, it's fine. Didn't matter whether it was my shape or whether it did anything to make me feel good. It was kind of like, oh, it fits and it's something new. So you get that little bit of a thrill because something's new. And that is never going to be long-term sustainable for making you feel good. And I'd ended up with this wardrobe full of clothes that I didn't really love and I've been making do with. And I kind of got to this point where I thought, right, I'm not making do anymore. And it's not always about spending a lot of money, because I can still buy things. You know, I still buy quite a few things from the supermarkets now. So it's not about spending a lot of money. It's about knowing what works for you, what flatters you, what makes you feel good when you look in the mirror. So you think, well, actually, I'm making the most of what I've got and who I am. And that was a real shift for me. That was a real turning point. And I started to just wear colours that I knew suited me. Obviously, I'd always known kind of what my colours were before I studied colour analysis, because I'd always been absolutely like fascinated by it since the 80s. But it was kind of, that was the whole thing. It was about that investing in myself and taking time and just... I suppose that's my message really. Don't make do and just make some time for yourself to do the things that are going to make you feel better. So whether it's, you know, having a nice bath with candles and fancy bubble bath with a glass of wine, or whether it's spending that little bit more on buying 4 tops from Wallis instead of buying 1 top from Wallis instead of 4 tops from Asda. You know, what is the thing that's going to make you feel a little bit better. And I've been working with a coach, Debbie, for a while ago, and we were talking about this, and it was kind of what is and I got into this headset of who is luxury Lisa, what would luxury Lisa do to be nice to myself and treat myself. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. You know, what's your version of luxury Lisa? What can you do? And it's instead of just like daft things, like instead of buying, I don't know, instead of having an instant coffee, if you like coffee, having like the you know, having stuff that's made in the pot in the cafetiere, or buy a machine to make your coffee. Just those little things, those little extra things that where you're treating yourself and you're not making do. So that's where, God, this has gone on and on all over the place, isn't it? I started off because of my headscarf, but I'm in my book zone as well. I'm writing, I've committed to writing this book. I started it 2-3 years ago. I can't even remember now, 2.5 years ago. And I wrote about 50,000 words, and then I really decided I wasn't sure where my message was going, and I stopped it. But I've committed to writing my book again. So I've been thinking a lot over the weekend about what my book is all about, what it's going to be about. And yes, there will be this Lisa Newport Style who's popping up. Actually, it's not me. It's somebody else who's masquerading as me. It's Pam, actually, I think, who's my admin. I think, is it you, Pam? Reveal yourself. So yeah, if you think it's a bit weird that I'm writing stuff for myself, it's not me. But yeah, so I've committed to my book. I'm going to write my book, and I've got to get it to be edited at the end of June. So April, May, June. So over the weekend I've been thinking about yeah, it is Pam. Over the weekend I've been thinking about the content of it and what goes in my book. And if you get my weekly emails, you'll know that it's a real mix of the practical tips and all the rules and guidelines, but also a load of waffle like this about, you know, don't make do, and, you know, be more you, and be visible and all that stuff. So my book's going to be kind of like that, in the same vein. So lots of be more you, but also there will be some rules, and I always say rules in inverted commas, because at the end of the day, all the rules are pointless. If you love something, who cares? Because if you wear it and you love it, it gives you that air of confidence. It doesn't matter whether it technically suits you or not. It doesn't really matter, does it? It's about feeling good. So yeah, so it's all about that. But I want to know what you guys want in the book as well, because potentially you're people who might buy it because you follow me on social media, you're here in my group. So yeah, if you've got anything that you think, oh yeah, I really want that in it, then stick it in the thread that I put in, because that'd be really interesting for me to see. But anyway, I'm waffling on now. I'm gonna go. I just thought I'd just get out my comfort zone a little bit and go live with my headscarf on a day that I just didn't intend seeing anybody, because my hair is just awful. So I've done that. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go and get myself a nice cup of coffee, and we'll love you and leave you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining in. It's nice to know that people have been watching. If you are watching on the replay, just stick a replay in the thing, just so, and tell me what you think about my washerwoman headscarf. I'm saying what we all feel like. Oh, thanks, Donners. I'm glad you're getting me, because it's one of them things, isn't it? You just don't know what other people are thinking until you start talking, until you start sort of opening up and being vulnerable. And that's, you know, with my Project FAB community, that's good. We've had some fantastic conversations. There's some real camaraderie going on in there, and some real support and encouragement, and it just fills my soul. And I know there's been some wonderful conversations in here over the weekend about different things, and it's quite quiet these days, this group, but then when somebody does want some help, everybody jumps in, and it encourages me that people are so supportive. So I really value that and appreciate that, and let's keep the conversations going. Anyway, love you all lots. Bye for now. Bye, Pammy. Bye.